Just have to wear the dress, huh?
Can you not right now, please?
Okay. Always sad when it doesn't work, but citing irreconcilable differences, let's move on to division of assets. Okay, so we have the cave, we have the island.
I've been living on there for 1,000 years, so yeah, I keep the island. That's a no-brainer.
Fine, I want everything in the cave.
Okay, that's a big ask.
He can have
Okay.
everything in the cave. Everything in the cave. I mean, it's not like you didn't walk around with your dirty hooves on the cave all the time.
What did you just say to me?
Yeah, you heard me.
Okay, let's not call names. Don't need dirty hooves. Okay, and now, finally,
Right.
the fleece.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I've been
mine.
protecting it again, like...
Okay, tell me what you've done for the fleece.
No.
I care for it.
What?
I brush its wool. I tuck it in. I make sure
Brush
it's
it.
clean. I bathe it every now and again because you don't even think about the little things.
You know what?
Okay, good.
No. You know what? He can have the fleece. I can't handle this. Have the fleece. I want my island. See you later.
You're gonna walk out again?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out.
Episode 206. Welcome back to episode 6 of our podcast. I hope you had as much fun watching that episode as I had making it, because it was a lot of fun. And before we talk about 206, we've got to talk about someone else first. Andrew Mcllroy, our incredible acting coach. You've heard him mentioned a lot on this podcast, and it's for good reason, and I want to give a little bit of context about it. I first met Andrew Mcllroy on day 1 of arriving in Vancouver to shoot, and we were all told, oh, your acting coach is gonna bring you in a month in advance so that way you guys can prepare, which was already kind of weird to all of us. You know, we were like 14. We were like, we'll get there on the day and know our lines. But that month genuinely changed me as a person, and every single day I've spent with Andrew has changed me as a person. Before every take, he makes us say quest. I can't remember how it started, but before everything that all of us do together, we look at each other, we take a moment, and we say quest to remind ourselves that we're on a journey and that we're on an adventure, and that no matter what happens at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun.
Quest.
And Andrew is the one who started it. Before I walked out here to do this monologue, I looked at everyone behind the camera and I said quest. And that's the kind of effect that Andrew has on everybody that he meets.
Action.
Okay. Quest.
Quest.
He's made us all better actors, and I'm positive he has made us all better people. I would not be the man I am today without Andrew Mcllroy. And I hope you see why we all praise him so much when we bring him on, because he's coming on this episode. But before we bring out that legend, we can't talk about episode 6 without our first guest, who is equally as legendary and a student of Andrew's back in the day, my beautiful husband, Polly Wally, Aleks Pauvnoic.
I have made this island a world unto itself. My world. All outsiders are enemies. Or food. I learned long ago. If you don't trust nobody, then you live. You mortals can't see that even with all your eyes.
Aleks Pauvnoic, my beautiful husband.
Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Thank you for being here, man. I'm so excited.
This
to
is
have you on.
awesome. I'm so thrilled to be here and chatting with you about the show. What an experience we had, man.
Dude, are you kidding me? I'm thrilled to have you on.
Oh, what
Thank
an
you for being
experience,
here.
yeah.
The first thing that we have to talk about,
Yes.
and it was the first thing that came up in the prep session that we talked about
Right.
for this episode. This isn't your first time playing a Cyclops, and it's also not your first time playing a Cyclops in the Percy Jackson universe.
Isn't that insane? And now that was one of the things that, and I love him. Dan Schatz gave me a call. We worked together on C, and John, and I was just thrilled because I loved the show right off the top. When you guys had it in the first season, I thought you guys did an amazing job. And then Dan called and offered me Polyphemus, and in the back of my head was like, I don't think I should tell him that I was actually in the first film, Percy Jackson, as a Cyclops.
Yeah.
So I kept that under wraps, and then And thank God everything was okay, and it worked out where I could play after I told him, well, we were already shooting. But the thing was, like, the Polyphemus of the first Percy, he was jacked, like ripped.
Yeah.
Like ripped. And they put me in a because I wasn't that ripped at the time. So they put me in prosthetics. And so I was at massive chest, the abs, and running through a forest in the first Percy. And then when Polyphemus came up, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm in great shape right now. They probably won't even need the prosthetics. And it was like, no, we're going 900 pounds on this one.
We're gonna spend 14 hours putting you in a fat suit
Yeah,
that's actually gonna cover all of that.
Exactly. And you know, it was a blast. I mean, just
Yeah.
the feet and the hands and getting used to it and how heavy the costume was. It was a workout in itself. I mean, when we were shooting on location,
Yeah.
I think it was in Kelowna, and running up the mountain and just making sure, and then we had to really figure out the weight of him, of how he would move, and there's not a lot of speed to him, but there's a lot of heaviness in his steps, and just understanding that, and then understanding that the feet are so big that I can't really drag them on the ground. I have
Yeah.
to take a little bit of a higher step. So having all of that encompassed, and the knowledge of actually having something like that as a Cyclops in the first Percy kind of helped me out for this one.
So while we're on that subject,
Yeah.
let's get into it. Let's get into the making of Polyphemus.
Let's do it.
What was that like?
It was such a cool journey because I have a great relationship with your acting coach.
Yeah.
Andrew Mcllroy, who...
Shout out Andrew Mcllroy.
Shout out
our
Andrew.
Incredible acting coach.
And I've known him for close to 15 years. And I worked with him on other projects. I even did a play with him. We were both actors in a play.
I didn't know
So
that.
we've
That's
known
awesome.
each other for a really long time. And so bringing Polyphemus to life and knowing that Andrew was a part of it, and I know his work ethic so well, that when I showed up to go through the character with him, he had a binder as thick as like my head.
Yeah.
And just the knowledge that he gave us in getting into Polyphemus, how we can make him such an iconic, interesting character for the story, because it's written so well. The idea of getting into Polyphemus and getting into the costume and the weight of the costume, and then the masks of the two types of Polyphemus.
Yeah.
Like the one not so bright and one understanding where he stands in the world. You know, and just knowing that his isolation was there, because he lives on this island by himself, and he has the golden fleece, and for him it's preservation, it's companionship at times, but it's quite a selfish thing. Most mythical gods have armies with them, and with him, Polyphemus is just, he's fine being alone and being very selfish and taking care of his own wants and needs. And so Andrew really kind of helped me with, you know, shaping the character and shaping the idea of who he is, not only physically, but mentally.
Well, especially with playing a character who's so different than what he might have been in the original Odyssey or in the books, you have to pull from stuff that might not originally be in the source material. And that's another thing that Andrew Mcllroy, our incredible acting coach, is so great at with those binders, is
Right.
pulling from stuff outside the world, but in shaping this kind of more three-dimensional Polyphemus. What did you pull from?
Just doing the idea of the not so intelligent Polyphemus. I kind of went a little bit towards, you know, Lenny from Mice and Men.
From the beginning, I played the poor dumb beast for you. He may be half blind, but Polyphemus can smell. Polyphemus can hear. Polyphemus can listen while the deceptive satyr shares dreams with his friend Percy.
And talks in his sleep. Those parallels in the Odyssey, the not so perfect husband and Penelope, who's kind of, you know, unraveling this wedding dress, waiting for his hero to come and save him.
Right.
Not that you're not my hero.
Right.
I would never want to run away from you.
No.
But that was always so fascinating to me, that Grover is, and I think I talked to Rick a little bit about this as well. Adapting season 2, book 2, is kind of like a modern day retelling of the Odyssey. In prep, we all like went through it, and there's so many moments that match up. And obviously Grover is Penelope waiting for her husband, Percy, to come save her, like reworking the wedding dress and like stalling for time to get married off. How did you take some of those myths and fit them into the context of the Percy Jackson world?
It's never really been a problem for me taking the myths and adapting them. I don't know what that says about my weird imagination or about where we are, like a race, the human race, or, that these myths still apply so well to us that I don't have any trouble at all. The Grover being Penelope thing, I thought that was just hilarious. I just love the idea of, it's Penelope, but it's not. It's a satyr and trying to pull one over on the Cyclops.
How did you feel being in the wedding dress, knowing that was on the other side? And do you really believe you're tricking me, or are you hoping that I don't see anything? Because again, I can't really see that well, and the veil and everything. So how did you feel?
You know that scene in Jurassic Park where they're hiding in like the room or whatever, and the Velociraptor is right outside the door?
Right.
It always felt like one of those things to me where it's like, yeah, a T-Rex can't like talk,
right?
But if it sees you, it's gonna kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It literally just felt like being trapped in a room with a wild beast,
right?
Where you can kind of reason with it, and it can't necessarily understand you, but if you just play your body language right and you appear calm and you appear cool, it might just leave you alone. Like you're trapped in a room with a bear, basically.
Right. Well, that's what I did feel that from you, because watching your performance, again, like I said, it really helped me with my performance. But how you were just cute, man. You were just so cute.
Thank you.
And I was just like, he's doing this so beautifully, and how can you not fall in love with this guy?
Thank you.
But I had to do the ruse, so unfortunately they wrote it differently because I was falling in love with you, buddy.
Oh, stop! You're shameless. I did. It was interesting acting alongside you because, all of obviously the vis effects and the prosthetics, but also the forced perspective that we had to shoot with. That was interesting. That
was a trip because we, just for anybody out there that wants a forced perspective, is like I'm looking at Aryan's character, but it's actually a tennis ball, so it's way down low. My sight is so low, and then you're almost like 12 feet sideways from that, and you're looking way above at another tennis ball, but we have to share this scene together. And what was so interesting to show the forced perspective was I could feel your performance, even though I couldn't see you. So that was fun to do, and just kind of, a little bit of a peripheral vision.
Yeah, that's exactly
right.
It.
The peripheral vision is there, but also the energy of how you're doing it. But the forced perspective was a trip a lot of the time, for sure. And even with the cauldron, because you guys would see,
we would sub in the
smaller cauldron for me, but when it was for you guys, it was massive.
Yeah.
So those little things were just so fun to see on set. I mean, the set design was just fantastic. Getting into the layer and everything was so great.
Before Albert comes on, this is something that I've talked a little bit about. I talked about it at Comic-Con, but we've got to talk about the proposal.
Oh.
While we're here.
Yeah.
That was a magical moment.
It still hurts, though.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hurts.
I didn't know Walker was going to do that.
And my dreams just crashed.
Just shattered?
But it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be done. We were sitting in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you know what we're missing in this? What we don't see is the actual proposal of why you're in the wedding dress. There's a proposal, and you got super excited. And I was like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. And then we just went off for it, and you didn't know I was gonna do what I did at that time.
No, not at all.
It was a lunchroom full of people, and I had
full of literally everybody who worked on that show.
What you haven't seen is the actual proposal to Arya as my wife.
I object! Oh no, you need to stay.
Please, all the money I got from the show.
It was one of those things, like obviously we had done all of our work together, but it's, it's difficult when you're working with someone who you don't actually spend that much time with.
Right.
Because whenever I saw you, the first time I met you, you were in the whole Polyphemus getup. That was the
Right.
first time I saw you. When we took our prom pictures, we'll
Oh,
throw to
that's
those.
right. Yeah, that's right.
I did want to get a little bit more into the differences between your Polyphemus and the original Polyphemus, and I think the person who would know best about that is our incredible writer, Albert Kim.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
How you
Hey,
doing?
man.
Hey, man.
Good to see you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for
Of
doing
course.
this.
By the way, is that
Yeah.
what I think it is?
Oh, the golden fleece on the chair? Yeah, I've just been keeping that around. I thought Alex might want to take a last glance at it.
A last glance?
Yeah, before I. But thank you for being here.
Of course.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you fleshed out Polyphemus. I think that's a pretty recurring theme.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot of fun because, we get to draw from not only the incredibly rich source material of the Percy Jackson books, but obviously also all the way back to the Odyssey, right? So we get to pay homage to both sources. And the fun of adapting, I mean, one of the challenges, obviously, of adapting something like Percy Jackson is that there's such a huge, enormously devoted fan base who knows the stories inside and out. And you want to pay respect to that. You want to make sure that you hit all the highlights, everything that people loves about the original stories. At the same time, you want to give it your own twist. You want to be able to surprise even the most diehard of fans. And when we were talking about it, it seemed like Polyphemus seemed like one of those opportunities because, as you guys know, in the book, he's kind of a big, scary monster, but he's, let's say, a little slow, right? And we thought it would be a really
Let's
fun...
cast Alex.
I know he'd be perfect to play this idiot.
No, but to be honest, like Alex, I mean, the thing that's great about Alex, obviously, is he's got the physicality so he can play someone like Polyphemus, but he's also got that incredibly intelligent, wise aura around him, and that's the thing that we wanted underneath all of that, right? So it was a big surprise, and in a way, it makes him a lot scarier. The fact that he is canny, that he's smart, he's cunning, and he's actually laid a trap rather than just waited for Percy and the heroes to land on his island. He set this all up, and that's really the scary moment at the end of 205 when we reveal that, but we flesh it out fully in 206, and you see the full extent of his personality and what he's been like and what he's been dealing with all these centuries.
Well, we also have another big change, which is the fact that Percy willingly hands over the fleece, which is a huge moment in the show. I think it kind of turns the entire show around. It's what gives us that momentum into the last arc of the season.
Yeah, one of the character arcs we had been building all season long has to do with Percy's fatal flaw. And the fact that he would be willing to sacrifice the world to save the ones he loves. And we saw that stated explicitly in Cece's Island in the episode beforehand. But we don't see that actually play out until here, when he's presented with that choice. Save Annabeth or save the fleece, which could potentially save the world.
Annabeth!
She's dying.
Fleece. We can use the fleece to heal her.
You have it? You have the real one?
Back off! Now! Clarice. We need to give the fleece to Luke.
Are you crazy?
And you see the choice he makes, and that's when you realize, that's when it hits home, what it's going to cost him to save Annabeth. So it creates this incredibly emotional moment at a time when all this other stuff is going on. There's fights, there's action, they're trapped in the cave, Luke is here, Annabeth's in trouble. All of this is going on, and Percy has to make that decision. It's not like he can sit around and think about it. He's got to sit there and go, like, what do I do right in this moment? And you see him make that choice. And it sets up, as you said, like the last 2 episodes of the season.
Well, and this is just a testament to Walker's acting, but there's a moment where after he does it and he's just kind of standing there while Clarice is yelling at him, and he's barely listening to her, or maybe he's listening to her too much, and it just, all of it weighs down on him, and he just sits and he just kind of crumbles, and his head is in his hands, and he just can't like get up because he's like living under the weight of this decision.
Yeah, no, I think those are the moments that it's funny, as a writer, sometimes you want to just write in all this dialogue. But in that moment, I think in the script, it just talked about exactly what we were talking about. He's faced with this conflict, his fatal flaw, and all these things are going through his head. Annabeth, what happened, what Cersei told him, what Clarice is doing, Grover in that moment. But it's in that silence that Walker is able to pull off all of that. And that's what's amazing to watch. And that's one of the incredibly gratifying things about a writer, is being able to see that all come to life.
You killed Camp. You probably killed Annabeth too. Great job, hero.
Clarice, come on, he had to. How much does Percy know that Luke is just using him, or is Luke using him? Like, what does Percy believe in that moment? Is it strictly Annabeth is in trouble and she needs us to live, so that's what's gonna happen? Or is Luke lying to me? Is this, does he genuinely care for Annabeth? Or is he just kind of saying that so he can get his hands on what he needed in the first place?
I think he's weighing all of that in that moment. It all happens in a split second, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think he knows this is bad. I think he knows what Clarice is telling him is true, that if you hand over the fleece to Luke, you may be possibly dooming the world. But the thing that outweighs all of that is the fact that Annabeth is lying there dying in front of him. And he just cannot get past that.
Clarice, I'm not giving it to him. Even to save her life?
I'm not sacrificing the quest. Annabeth would understand. She would know that this is bigger than any of us.
Clarice, you said you'd never let another warrior fall in the battlefield if you could prevent it. Not on your watch. Not again. Annabeth is a warrior, just like you. Those men.
No! Hey! No!
Luke, hang it! Hang it!
Jackson, stop!
That's what really informs the last line of the episode, when he goes, we get them back. And Clarice is like, how? He doesn't have an answer. He just knows that he's going to do that. And that's kind of the fun of the character. You know, he sets his mind on doing something. He has no idea how he's going to do it, but then he goes ahead and does it. You know, and that's kind of the nature of him as a hero.
In writing what you did, I mean, even with the Polyphemus, the swing that you end up doing, where did that idea come from?
I can't remember exactly when we first landed on that, but we did know that we always wanted to up the stakes of that moment and because this season is all about the Cyclops, right? So we've got Tyson as a major character in the season, and we see one version of that character. And then we see a few other stray Cyclops throughout the season, but the king of all of them is Polyphemus. And we knew we needed to put a twist on Polyphemus to make him seem both different from and also the epitome of all the ones we've seen.
Right.
So we needed to make him scary, we needed to make him big, physical, but also really, really smart. And someone who has experienced thousands of years. And again, one of the things I thought was brilliant about what you brought to the role was you could feel centuries of experience, you know, informing all your decisions. There's a moment I love when Clarice is tied up and she's trying to taunt you, and she goes like, I think you're scared.
I think he's worried.
Scared that our reinforcements are coming for him.
True. Unlike satyrs, demigods are dangerous. Heroes will cross oceans to save their friends, to be together again. And when they do, I'll be ready.
The stuff on location was pretty gnarly, and it was hot. We got some hot days.
I remember
on that.
you in between takes when we were out there and you couldn't sit in a chair. So
No.
like they propped you up in one of those gator trucks.
Yeah.
Like you were just like
My chair was the
leaned
gator
against
truck.
the
Was it
truck.
actually?
Yeah, so I would just, saunter over and just.
They just sort of tipped him over onto it. so-
Exactly, yeah, they were tipped.
I remember seeing a picture of you lying on the bed.
That's
and-
right,
Yeah.
but it started off, with the first thing we used was a wheelbarrow. So I would sit in the wheelbarrow, and then I got upgraded, so it worked. But
To a gator.
I couldn't sit in the chair because of the costume. I remember finishing a take after running up the the mountain, and I had to move the cowl, and in the ears, my sweat was piling up in the ear, so all I hear is the squishing noises. So I would have the AD going, "Hey, back to first," and all I hear is squishy noises. I can't hear anything. And then I had to pull the cowl, and I think, like a liter of water just dripped right out, sweat just dripped right out of me. It was, and it all happened in the heat in the summer in Kelowna.
I remember also at one point, I think I asked you during a take, "Hey, Alex, can you bring your cowl up? Just go up before you go down." He's like, "I'll try." I don't know.
That's a lot of movement to get that.
Yeah, it was like this, he's got 50 pounds of rubber on him and these paws, but you pulled it off. I remember you did it. It was great.
we ended up pulling it off, and some amazing shots, the drone shots. But actually, one of my most favorite moments was interacting with the goats.
No, the sheep.
The sheep. Sorry, the sheep.
Well, you did interact with them.
Right, I interacted with one amazing goat. But the sheep, they were tripping out when they saw me. Like, they wouldn't come close, and I would try to feed them with my big hand. That wasn't working. Then finally, I had a little bit of attention from one of the goats. I went, "Okay, I'm not that hideous. I'm not that hideous." So, and you know what? Are we about to wrap it up right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I just have to say, because we did have that proposal.
Yeah.
And it did get interrupted by Walker.
Yeah.
And Walker isn't here.
No.
So.
You're
Wow. Wow.
Will you be my bride?
kidding. 1,000,000 times yes.
Amazing! We got it!
Everyone off camera is clapping as well. I don't know if you guys can pick that up on the mics. Man, this ring is massive.
Yeah, it's for both fingers.
Thank you.
Well,
This is so sweet.
now I feel complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Hey, it's only because Walker was there that the night was interrupted.
I know.
I would have chosen you.
I would have chosen you.
I expect to be invited to the
Yes,
wedding.
you're a
nice
best
for you.
man.
Well, you're the
great,
flower
thanks.
boy, no?
Oh, flower
Okay,
boy.
either one, I'll take anything. I just want to be in the party.
Thank you guys for taking the time to be here with us. I'll see you obviously at the vow rehearsal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the rehearsal dinner. But thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
I'd like to introduce our next guest. You may have heard his name a couple of times before. Our incredible acting coach, Andrew Mcllroy.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. Sorry, I'm just so used to saying that whenever I'm around you. I have this very vivid memory of filming. I've got a lot of vivid memories with you. No, this one's good, and it's not about us, thank God. But of filming 206, there's this moment after Daniel fights Polyphemus.
Yeah.
And you walked up to Walker and I, and you were like, "I want you guys to look at what he's doing almost subconsciously with his body." Tyson is already pretty hunched, but he kind of knows how to balance himself, and he's learned how to do that.
Yeah.
But after he, basically kills a brother, who we never even had the chance to talk to, you told us to kind of watch how he had this slouched, and he was slanted. It was like he couldn't stand upright.
Yeah.
Which is a huge part of playing Tyson for him, is always making sure that his spine is straight.
Well, he's working from the child, because we had Tyson working from the child, and the child's center is often here, it's up here. Mm-hmm. So that means that the shoulders are back, and you're exposing hope and innocence and a desire that things work out. So when that got broken, I found it heartbreaking, but I'm watching on a cellular level. I'm going, well, what vertebra just moved slightly to allow that little micro moment to happen? And he broke the spine. I think I've said that to you every now and then, like the character's spine gets broken, and it's subtle, because I think we build character vertebra by vertebra, by molecule by molecule, by Lego by Lego by Lego, and our writers ask that we accept language word by word by word. Like you'll never get a situation where there's a bunch of words under one umbrella. It's always like, well, here's a chunk of change, and I bet that there are at least 3 lanes of traffic in any one paragraph. So, we're always sort of doing spinal work or vertebra work, even when we're analyzing text. Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool.
One of the most incredible pieces of physicality work in this season is Charlie, switching from young Luke to adult Luke. And he talked a little bit about it, but that exercise that you two did where you sent him out into the city, I want to hear, did you take a video of this?
I did. I was walking beside him videoing it. We didn't have a lot of time, and he was more like runaway teen.
Yeah.
It was more the perils, and the same thing happens to Tyson. We spent a lot of time talking in depth about what it is to be a teen out there, the predators, what you would have to sort of accommodate, what your survival strategy would be. So yeah, I put him in a hoodie. He was freezing cold. Met him in his apartment building. Didn't really talk to him, which I've done to you when I've improv. I just don't even talk.
Yeah.
I just kind of put him right into it. Gave him $5. No, maybe no. I gave him whatever I had in my pocket. Maybe it was $3.50 or something. And he was just wearing his hoodie and he was kind of shaking. And I made him sit there on these very cold concrete steps and just kind of feel where the body started to kind of curve over because it was seeking warmth, but also didn't want to be noticed. Because when you are a teen on the streets, you don't want to be noticed. You do not want to catch the eye of the person that may have ill intent. And I suggested he was hungry, and I told him to try to find something in any store he could for the limited amount of money I gave him. He couldn't. Oh no, I think he found a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And the whole time, it was one of those situations where I'm running after him with the phone. I'm chasing after him, and he's just like, he starts to speed up, and he got very, like his breath was getting quite rapid, and he was getting kind of quite scared because he could start to see threats. He could start to see threats on the street. Right.
His eyes move so much more.
Yeah, right.
It's,
totally,
I can never get him to
absolutely.
look at me the entire time.
Absolutely. Very, very furtive, very watching out for stuff, very kind of into himself. And then to watch him progress, and that's what Kronos does too, because Kronos is a cult leader. So Kronos is going to make you feel like you're the best thing, and Kronos is going to make you stand tall and feel like you are the man you always wanted to be. That's one of the things that's really evil about Kronos. And so he gives Luke he gives him this spine, this prepossession that's kind of phenomenal, and then messes with it, because it's sort of like, well, you only have, now that you have it, remember, you only have it because of me. It's that kind of classic kind of ringleader, cult leader sort of thing,
It's like whenever you see like a baby tree like propped up by splints, it's like, oh, I can take that away.
No, I love that.
You'll fall right over. Like
absolutely.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Absolutely.
And especially like that rags to riches, he needs to hold on to it. He's like, I have power now.
Absolutely. Kind of with zero self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because the self-esteem he gets from a cult leader, basically. He gets it from Kronos, who's just kind of going, okay, you are, but do not forget who made you think that you are.
But I did want to talk about one of the exercises
that we
do. The ball.
The
ball.
So before we do at the beginning of every day, before every scene, and because our actors are so incredibly prepared, and nobody ever arrives on set with their sides, they're ready to actually do an organic blocking, which means that the actors are ready to find relationship and sort of carve out their territory and lay out the scene according to the story as we've all talked about it. But I will make the actors stand in a circle and pass the ball. And what the ball does is it forces me to make connection with you.
And we decide about what our relationship is going to be based on when I decide to give you the ball.
And maybe I take it, and maybe I offer it, take it back. Maybe I give it.
And maybe I want you to keep the ball, and I don't want it.
So you refuse it if I give it to you.
So I refuse it.
And sometimes we just pass it in silence.
For those who are listening, we do have a bright green rubber ball.
And we just pass it. And we're in. And I think if we enjoy profoundly what that relationship is, and it helps us leave our outside life outside, and it commits us and connects us to what the day is going to be. And I can also go, I have no idea what I'm doing with this line. Because if the ball kind of does this, it sort of means I don't know who it's going to.
Yeah.
So the ball, I like to say the ball never lies.
Yeah, interesting.
The ball never lies. It always tells a certain truth.
Yeah. That thing that you said that we have one nervous system. I told you about this the other day, but I wrote my college essay about this quote that you told me. That thing where we only have one nervous system. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. I've really been understanding it recently. Even now, just talking about holding the golden fleece makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. You just carry all of our baggage for us. And we come into work and we, whatever we have outside, we give it to you. And then we do this scene so that way we can do it with an empty nervous system. And we feel all of this pain. We watch our friend die. We find this sacred relic we lose and we gain and whatever. And we give that back to you. And you still have to hold that. And I genuinely don't know how to do it, how you do it.
It's yours. I see it. I host it. I'm just a mediator. I am lucky to spend time in its presence. I want to hold a place with it, kind of put it on the kiln, kind of, play with the clay, hopefully never hurt it, and sort of give it back to you so you can walk with it.
I think that's kind of the best way to describe what you do.
And if that's what you feel, then I'm doing my job.
I don't think there's ever been a day where we're like, I could have done that without Andrew, There's genuinely never been a day.
I'll keep billing you.
Thank you,
long into your 50s, but
Anytime I talk about you, I'll get a bill in the mail.
Yeah.
Speaking of being with a show for this long, you've known me since I was 15.
I have.
It's just weird to think about.
I have.
What does this cast mean to you? That's a very broad kind of difficult question to ask and answer.
What does this? Yeah, that's a really good question because I keep my distance. There's a part of me that keeps my distance. Like you'll never see me at a function.
No.
It doesn't mean I don't have great love for you guys. The cast as a company is an incredible. I never in my life dreamed that I would hit my 60s with this incredible group, this ensemble of incredible young talent that I think is going to change the world. Not exaggerating. I think you will go on to do things that is remarkable, each of you in your own right, each of you with your own voice, You mean a lot to me. I look forward to getting up Saturday morning, because Saturday morning is when I write my notes, and I replay your week. And I go through what everybody did during the week, and I make notes specifically to that, or thematic notes around that. And I don't know that I've had really, even when we had that long break between 1 and 2, it still felt that we were sort of connected.
I know exactly what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? So I will know what this cast means to me horribly when we don't have this learning curve to share together anymore. It's sad, right? You know what I mean? No, I don't want to talk about it either. But that's what the cast means to me, and it's also because you can hold anything that I've been working on as an educator for like 40 years. I can bring that to you, so it's an incredible laboratory. Not that it's a Frankenstein laboratory, but it's incredible. Yeah.
You've shaped a lot of us as people, not as actors. Like I know for a fact I wouldn't be Arian today if I hadn't met you. You know what I mean?
Have you noticed I won't drive with you?
I keep offering you rides and you won't accept.
I know, what wonderful mature people.
But I know what you mean about the connection thing. It's like, it's been so long since we've seen each other. You're older, you're taller, your voice is deeper.
You're good people. Here's what I gotta say about you guys. You are actors that are bigger on the mark than you are in your life. You are you tell bigger truths when you're holding a story inside of you than you do on Instagram. I love that about you guys. I love that. Do you know what I mean? Like you are of course famous, but you're not celebrity actors. And I'm sorry if anybody gets offended by that. But
those are just two different jobs.
No, they're two different jobs, and you're interested in taking up room because you are a storyteller. You are an actor that does the serious, quiet work of the professional actor. That's what you are as people, and that's who you are. It's incredible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for our final question, I've never met anyone in my life more committed to this craft than you are. And I doubt I ever will meet someone more committed, including all of the incredible guest stars that we have on this show.
Right.
They're veteran actors, but still, where does that commitment come from? And what is it like being so embedded into a show that's so fantastical, but has so many grounded moments. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? My dad took me to my first play when I was 4. I ran around the house dressed up as either Mary Poppins or Superman when I was 6 and 7. So I've been at the work of play for my entire life. It's saved my life a couple of times. I've been reading the New Yorker and the Times and writing that sort of stuff since I was like 13, 14. I read so many newspapers. I read so many plays. I'm curious. I don't think, Arian, you know what? I don't think I know anything. Isn't that funny? I talk to Sally and I go, oh God, she knows so much more about theater than I do. I talked to Glenn. Who was telling me the other day about being in the premiere of Raisin in the Sun and by Lorraine Hansberry and meeting her. And I just go, I know nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think that I'm just like, a little kid from Ottawa, Ontario, that's sort of like, one day I'll figure out what this career is and be taken seriously. Isn't it weird? Well, you know
But
how you get.
I think the smartest people are
But
the
I am
ones
committed.
who... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the smartest people are the ones who know that they don't know much about
Right.
whatever they like.
Yeah.
This story would have been much too fantastical if you hadn't been there to ground it in the very real human moments.
Thank you.
And they keep flashing time at me on the prompter.
Oh, I'll bet they have for about the last hour.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's actually...
I get it.
It's been persistent and it's in my peripheral
We are
vision.
what they call loquacious. Look it up.
We are loquacious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be the next thing I put on
Quest.
a t-shirt. Quest.
Quest.
Watch and listen to the Percy Jackson and the Olympians official podcast, available on Disney+ and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss Percy Jackson and the Olympians, now streaming on Disney+.